Hello everybody and welcome back. It is indeed that most exciting time of the year. It's away race time here with Lotus Challenge. This time we're out at Aldo Scribante in PE, Eastern Cape. And there's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of drivers coming down, making the trip out for this race. And we're looking forward to a fantastic round. 3 races this time in round 8 of the Lotus Challenge 2024 season. First up though, of course, qualifying. So how these drivers are going to deal with the changing and challenging track conditions is going to be absolutely crucial. Let's take a look at the Class B results. David Jeremy out on pole and current Class B championship leader, followed by Mackie Adlam and Rudy Barnhart. In Class L, we have Nick Hodgson on pole, followed by Paul Vollmer. Fantastic effort from Paul, and Andrew Fulton in 3rd position. So let's hear now from the drivers after qualifying.
I think my muesli this morning helped me. No, I don't know. I just found grip. Went out, took it nice and easy. Didn't try and push things too hard to start with, but just found the car naturally had a lot of grip. The setup felt good. So the work I did yesterday helped with that, I think. And then just went and put a time in, did what I could do, and it turned out okay. Turned out very well.
Good. Just adjusting the shots for the wet. Good. The rain's finished for the day. I've asked the guys to move the clouds over closer to PE City so that it doesn't affect here by Cooper development zone. And we're going to have a dry day after a very slight wet qualifying session. But that little bit of wet didn't affect the qualifying times by much.
Mackie Adlam back down at Aldo Scribante for the first time in a while. How did your qualifying go?
Hey, listen, it's always lucky to be at the coast. The cars are quite faster than up in Joey's. But for the team, 1, 2, 3, and well done to David. He's got pole. Legend.
Great, enjoy your race.
Thanks, man.
Enjoying the track?
Loving the track. Fast and sweepy. It's the way I love it.
Awesome. Andy, working hard here. I see you went out for qualifying and limped around.
Yeah, we had to limp around just to get a qualifying spot, but racing Lotus Challenge is not without its challenges.
It's fun. I just couldn't see anything. I didn't put my see-through on. So yeah.
And enjoying the track?
Absolutely. What a job. So we got
Awesome.
race 1. Got it.
Good luck.
Thanks, man.
Clive Walmart, we just finished qualifying back down in Port Elizabeth at Aldo Scribante. How did it go?
Not too bad. Done quite a bit of work on the car. Had some inherent problems, but I seem to have ironed them out. It's just a little bit of an age factor, but I think we're okay.
Great. Have a good race.
Cool. Thank you.
After drivers briefing, and then we've had a request from the timing office. No competitors to go up to the timing office. If they've got a problem, please get hold of your class rep. The class rep will be around.
Fantastic to hear from the drivers. Lots of excitement, but time now for race 1. Race 1 of 3, remember, for this fantastic weekend's worth of racing. I tell you what, Aldo Scribante is absolutely suited for a Lotus 7, and we are sure to see some action on board now with David Jeremy as we get lined up for the start of race 1. Let's see how he gets across off the start line, I should say, with very little time left remaining. Everybody getting quite excited. Marshall off the track, looking to get going as soon as we possibly can. You can hear those revs building. 30-second board out, of course not really 30 seconds. Watching for those lights, and we are about to go racing. There are the lights. And it's dropping the clutch, and away we go. David Jeremy looking to get a good start. Nick Hodgson there in Class L seems to have got a good start as well. Ben Knight's falling apart. Oh, it looks like Gijs van der Walt is into the pits immediately. Must be something wrong with the Strap King branded car there on board with Nick Hodgson now in Class L. Looks like Paul Volmer has got ahead. Oh, but Paul spun. Paul's spinning around. Nick just manages to match. Oh, and it's collected by, it looks like, Andre Duplessis. That is really, really unfortunate. Andre limping back onto the track. You can see on board with Andre. Wow, that was an absolute massive hit. Andre throwing his arms up in frustration. That's 2 massive crashes for Andre in 2 consecutive rounds. Oh, and up ahead in Class B through turn 3, we can see Mackie Adlam and Rudy Barnard coming together. That is really unfortunate, but amazing for David Jeremy, who scampers away into the distance. Looks like just a little bit of a touch between those 2 drivers, and they got spun off into the gravel on the outside, just collecting each other. It just shows how on the limit these guys are, that just a tiny touch and you are going to be off. We can see from board from Fridge Findlay now just managing to avoid the action there. Jean Dutoy in Class L also having a great view of what's going on. But most drivers did manage to avoid that. Luckily, not too much contact, and I think both Mackie and Rudy are going to get back in the race, albeit from the very, very back of the pack. It looks like Ben Knight's challenging Tim Venn there for a position. Jean Dutoy now looking to make a move on Andy Fulton. Jean really benefiting a little bit from the chaos, and making up a few positions on the start. It looks like there Davide Favo also having got ahead of Andy Fulton. You can see on sort of onboard replay of how Davide made a lunge, a bold move down the inside of what I believe is turn 5 into that tight right-hander. On board now with Fridge Findlay back up in Class B, and I think that's Joseph Kotzer ahead of him, just working his way back through. Fridge having none of it though, and deciding to take the challenge to Joseph in the slipstream. Now, of course, Lotus 7 is not great aerodynamically, so a slipstream is absolutely a massive advantage in both classes. Back on board now with Jean Dutoy in Class L, looking to attack Davide Favo up ahead. Looks like we've got Tinus Burtis in Class B as well, getting involved in the action. Jean Dutoy trying to use the little bit of confusion there, that as Davide tries to work his way around Tinus, didn't quite happen. Now they're going side by side through the last corner. For those of you unfamiliar with Aldo Scribante, it is a absolute long straight as we go across the start-finish line, and this is a perfect opportunity to use that slipstream. Jean demonstrating that perfectly. He's going to try to go up the inside. No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it, and that forces Davide through a slightly wider line. Back on board with Nick Hodgson now leading Class L. It seems to be quite a gap here. Joseph Kotzer working his way through. Nick just tucking in and looking to get a sneaky slipstream from a Class B all the way around the track. That'll make a massive difference. I think I might spy another Class B in Nick's wing mirror here. We'll have to see who that is when he comes working his way through. If he does, back on board with Fridge Findlay now in Class B, not tucking in for the... Oh, that's why he's not tucking in. Clive Wilmot coming in for the overtake. Both drivers going side by side through turn 1. Very, very brave, lads. That's fantastic racing. Clive works his way past Fridge and is now looking to challenge Joseph ahead. These 3 B-class guys in race 1 are having a fantastic battle. On board now with Tinus Burtis, and it looks like, is that Rudy Barnard, I believe, coming back through? Remember, Rudy and Mackie coming together in that turn 3 incident on lap 1, and now working his way back through. Once again on board with Fridge, and it looks like JP Nokia now coming through. Oh, Fridge getting quite sideways on the exit of turn 5 there. A great show of car control from Fridge. Looks like he's getting some oil or something onto the camera. Somebody must be spraying some either oil or fuel or something onto the back or onto the front of Fridge, I should say. Clive Wilmot running very wide there on the exit, and JP works his way through, gains another position back in the mid-pack of Class L. It looks like Ben Knight's diving up the inside of Tim Venn, getting very squirrely on the exit though. That might allow Tim to come back to him. We'll jump back to that later. Meanwhile, Jean Dutoy all over the back of Davide Favo. Davide is very much trying to catch that slipstream from Tines Portas up ahead in Class B, but Jean says thank you very much, I will have a position from you, my friend. But Davide says yes, but you haven't thought about my move up the inside, have you, Jean? And I'll take that position back. Absolute ding-dong battle here between these two Class L stalwarts, and they are having a fantastic time out there, I can tell you that much for free. Davide taking a defensive line into the last corner, but Jean is absolutely going to be lining himself up for another slipstream overtake. The wily Fox will absolutely be planning this down to the last detail, I can guarantee you. Looking ahead now, this looks like Class B again, and we've got Rudy Barnard working his way through. You can see a fantastic view for the spectators here at Aldo Scribante Raceway. What an amazing little track they have, an absolute gem in South Africa, which is blessed with a number of amazing tracks. Oh, that looks like Barry Dunford doing a 360 pirouette. Definitely giving the spectators something to cheer about there. But that is it for race 1. Let's have a look at the results. Class B, David Jeremy taking an easy win in the end there, with JP Nokia following up in second, and Rudy Barnard recovering to a third position, followed by Mackie Adlam. In Class L, Nick Hodgson took the win using that slipstream to take that first position, while Andrew Fulton and Jean Detoy come through in second and third respectively. Ben Knight's a fantastic result for him in fourth. Let's hear from the drivers now.
I was on a skid pen. I think I've got my tire pressures a little bit too high.
Here I am. Made it. Survived. Very blessed with a good second place. It was a chaotic start. We thought it was going to be a chaotic start, a little bit busy. Unfortunately, I see one or two guys had an incident, so I gained a place because Paul was in second place and he had an incident, so he was out. That pushed me through to second position, but Nick was just too fast on the day. Hey, he really pulled out. I felt comfortable in the car. The weather was good. Track got a little bit slippery towards the end, but I think a bit of oil on the circuit. But yeah, I'm glad to be here. It was an awesome race, and looking forward to the next one.
Qualified second, went straight into the lead off the start, and had major driver error in turn 1. Cold tyres and an ego that was too big. And I spun it around, the field went around me, and unfortunately for Andre, he clipped me. Totally my fault, not his. I mean, I spun around, but I think in the pack like that to try and get past me was really difficult. So yeah, bit of damage. We're trying to assess what it is, see if we can get ourselves going for the next race.
Good stuff, good luck.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks. Yeah, went very well. I did get extremely lucky though. Paul on my outside had a spin. I was lucky to sneak through on the inside, and that slowed everybody down. And then also the B class guys up ahead, they had a bit of an incident. I think Mackie and Rudy had an incident, and I was able to sneak through on the inside of that as well. So I got, effectively I got extremely lucky, but I was able to manage the gap, manage the pace, hook onto the back of some of the B class guys, give me a little bit of a tow. So yeah, very successful race 1.
I think I worked the rear tyres a bit too hard. On the last two laps, I could really feel it starting to slip a lot in the rear. Just came out hot, trying to stay ahead of Fridge, and spun out. Came again, tried to catch up, went in too hard, spun again. So I'm going to make a few changes to the rear, but it was a hell of a dice, especially with Uncle Clive. It's a shame that there's something that went wrong with this car, because we were having a hell of a dice. It was really nice.
I came straight into the pits from the start because my exhaust broke off on the warm-up lap on turn 7. So I had to come in the pits, and we just took it off and I went out. So I'm a lap behind, but yeah, I don't think I'm lost because some oaks didn't make it and some oaks came off. So it became very slippery. I think the last 2 laps someone must have spilled oil.
What happened there? Mackie and Rudy touched, so I spun with him. So, yeah.
Okay.
No, spun twice. Waiting for these two to catch up, but they didn't.
That's our first shot.
No. I was the slowest out of the three, but no. I think these two had a little kiss and left me open to race on my own, sadly.
I feel like Lance Stroll in the team. I'm the window licker. Of my Nikita Mazepin. I've been eating everything. I've hit him twice.
Where's the safety car?
The problem is I'm the Alonso eating the Stroll, the owner of the team in Samurin. So I've left the Lucifer on the side of the car. The stuff up, sorry. Flacky, yeah. So in the back, behind the Class L's. Best racing I've had all year. Fast cars without eating it.
Well, luckily for the second race, I'm actually starting behind these guys. So
you mean behind me? Just say behind me.
Oh, I'm saying behind the guys. So I'm quite safe for the second race.
Yeah, so it's all my fault.
No, not really.
Just racing.
In Afrikaans we say accidents te drol.
It's always good for the TV though.
Yeah, you were creating TV.
That was not the intention.
It was going great. There was a bit of a fracas at the beginning there between Mackie and Rudy, which I managed to just avoid. And then Joseph and I settled down to a bit of a dice. Managed to get past Joseph, and I thought I was going to settle into a nice place. And unfortunately, blew a head gasket. So for the moment, that's me out.
Yeah, rose joint upper elm was alright, lucky there, but we did have to replace the upright. So yeah, I was work, but a mess. As usual, the guys jumping and helping, it's unbelievable.
Fantastic to hear of such camaraderie, and we absolutely expect that in Lotus Challenge. People having a good time, but it's time now for race 2. On board once again with David Jeremy up in Class B, looking for those lights out. You've got Rudy Barnard and Mackie Adlam up ahead. It looks like we've got every single car back on track, which is amazing considering some of the damage that looked to be inflicted. You can see Rudy's got a missing, or was that Mackie's got a missing rear fender there, and it's off we go. David Jeremy getting a fantastic start. Look at that, his car absolutely rocketing off the start line, immediately taking Mackie Adlam and being all over the back of Rudy Barnard, trying to make up 2 positions off the start line, going to the inside line, forcing Rudy around the outside. Careful of those tires, gents. They are cold, but it looks like everybody getting away extremely well in Class B. For race 2, on board now in Class L, Nick Hodgson taking quite a cautious line into turn 1. You can see Andy Fulton there ahead, has already got ahead of Clive Wilmot off the start. I imagine Clive must have just got a little bit of a wonky start to have that. Gijs van der Walt in the background of Nick Hodgson there, and it looks like Nick is going to try and go around the outside of Clive. No, not happening just yet. You see Mackie Adlam, car number 8, really challenging David Jeremy. Jeremy going wide through turn 5, and that's allowed Mackie to sneak through. Andy Fulton now, Class L, looking to challenge Tinus Buertas, goes up the inside into looks like Joseph Kotzer going wide and spinning around. Andy Fulton managed to just miss. Back on board now with David Jeremy, trying to attack the 2 experienced Adlams up ahead of Rudy Barnard and Mackie Adlam. Those 2 going at it absolutely hammer and tongs. You can see Mackie tucking into the slipstream of Rudy. Oh, we got Andy Fulton going round the outside of Tinus Buertas there. Fantastic move. Looks like he's going to take a defensive line going into the last corner, and Clive Wilmot also sneaking through on the inside. Wily operator is Clive, and he's going to look to try and take Andy on the straight, I'm sure. Once again, we have Davide Favo and Jean de Toy absolutely battling it out. Hammer and tongs here. Jean once again using that slipstream. That's the way to do it at Aldo Scribante for sure. And going up the inside of turn 1, making that move stick nice and early. You can see just how close the racing is at the top end of Class B. JP Nokia hanging on there in 4th, and we've got Fridge Findlay coming through in 5th position at the moment. Class L, an absolute gaggle of Class L cars there, all desperately jockeying for position. Looks like Nick Hodgson and Andy Fulton are a little bit further ahead of the pack, but that Class L pack is so tight. You just do not know how things are going to turn out. Looks like Nick Hodgson is now trying to effect an overtake on Tinnis. Where is he going to make the move? He's going to get a lovely slipstream through this flowing section. As we go up and over the hill, you can hear him feathering the throttle. It really throws the car off if you're not careful, but going up the inside, oh, very hard on the brakes there, Nick, running quite wide. That was a cheeky move. I don't know if that was entirely kosher, but luckily both drivers live to fight again another day, and Nick moves on, trying to hunt down Andy desperately for that first position. We've got now Jean on the back of Gijs. Oh, it looks like Clive Walmut's pulling off. Must have a problem. That's really unfortunate for Clive, but Jean has got no thoughts to that whatsoever. He's just trying to chase Gijs down, following him through this twisty section as we go up and over this flat out right-hander. He's going to be getting a lovely slipstream. Will he make a move? Does look like he's a little bit far back. In the top of Class L, though, we now have Nick Hodgson trying to make a move on Andy, and Andy forcing him to go around the outside. Will this work, though? Looks like Nick got a fantastic slipstream and just makes it happen before the corner even. Goes a little bit wide, though, carrying that extra speed, getting a little bit squirrely, and now Andy will be trying to do the same. Looks like Jean Toy also forced around the outside. Gijs forcing him to the outside of the track. Will Jean make it stick? They're going side by side through turn one. That is absolutely brave racing from these two Class L racers. You see Andy Fulton and Nick Hodgson there battling hard. Third position absolutely not decided yet either. Gijs and Jean really battling it hard out there. Oh my goodness, that's David Jeremy going wide. Is that going to allow JP Nokia an opening? We'll have to see. Andy Fulton now, though, action up and down the pack here in both Class L and Class B. That is what we love to see in Lotus Challenge. Andy Fulton getting ahead in position one now in Class L. Will that stick? I tell you what, Nick is going to have something to say about that, and we are absolutely not done with this race at all. As you can see, one lap later, Nick making exactly the same move on Andy. These guys playing very much a cat and mouse game with each other. Super tactical at the front of Class L. As we jump on board now with Jean, it looks like Joseph Kotzer. Remember, he had that spin into turn 5 on lap 1, and it looks like he is now working his way back through the pack, desperately trying to get himself back up to a great position in Class B. Looks like did Andy miss a gear change? What happened there? Did he come off the power? Either way, Nick sneaks through on that fast left-hander before coming into the last corner of the track, getting hard on the brakes, trying to get the best possible exit. But as we cross the line there, you can see at the top of Class B, looks like Rudy and Mackie have pulled out a bit of a lead on David Jeremy, possibly due to that mistake. And Class L, look at that gaggle of Class L cars coming through. We can see Nick and Andy still at the front of Class L, battling absolutely flat out, each trying to outdo the other. Remember, of course, both of these drivers are going to be thinking about the pole position for race 3 as well, getting a slipstream off each other. It's going to be anybody's guess who gets that. But in the meantime, we've got Nick making another move on Andy, as I believe we are heading into the last lap of the race, and forcing him to take a very narrow line. As once again we look up front to Class B, it looks like Rudy Bonham has found a big gap on Mackie Adlam there. I don't know where that's come from, but Rudy looking to be very comfortable in that number 11 Class B. Who's not comfortable though is Nick Hodgson, getting very squirrely. Look at that car all over the place. Maybe overheating tires? Surely not. It's not hot enough for that. Andy Fulton also getting quite squirrely through that fast left-hander. That gives Nick quite a bit of breathing room. Will Andy be able to make an overtake on this on the last corner? He's going to set himself up, but I just don't know if there's going to be enough time for another move. Nick goes to the inside, and that's it. That is the end of race 2. Mackie Adlam coming home with the win in the end. Rudy Barnard in second. David Jeremy in third. In Class L, we have Nick Hodgson and Andy Fulton. As we John DeToy, though, comes home in third position, winning out in the end over Gijs. Let's hear it from the drivers now.
Wow, fucking get it! You couldn't have given me another 100 meters. But you were deep.
Oh, I didn't save you some fuel for the endurance.
Yeah, Andy and I had a great race. I don't know where he's at, but we had an awesome race. Great dice, using each other for a slipstream, battling it out. Bit of a battle of wits. Who can get the overtake done on the last lap and keep it over the line? Managed to do it by a whisker, but yeah, happy. 2 wins. Let's see if we can make it a third.
Good stuff.
The second race started in 22nd, obviously, because I didn't finish race 1, and just worked my way through. I have no idea where I ended, but Andre and I had a nice little dice going on, with Davide as well. And Davide had gearbox problems, so he disappeared. And then we started hunting down Gijs. And yeah, last lap I was literally sitting against his back wheel. So almost caught him.
Now, usually, of course, we'd be done for the day, but this is Aldo Scribante, and we absolutely get value for money here. So we have race 3 for the day, 3 races here, and watching the drivers stream out onto the track. Who is going to come away with the win for the end of the day? Still looking very cloudy, definite threat of rain. What are these drivers going to have done in terms of setup? That remains to be seen, and we could see some drops of rain by the end of this race. Let's see how it goes. Lights on, lights off, and off we go. David Jeremy getting a great start once again. Looks like Rudy Barnard, though, gets an absolute flyer on Mackie and gets ahead. Although, having said that, David Jeremy just absolutely flies through on the number 28. Says, thank you very much, Rudy. I will take that position for myself. And off he goes. All drivers this time getting through cleanly all the way through turns 1, 2 and 3, although wow, look how close they are at the front of Class B. That is fantastic racing. That is amazing to see, and these guys are absolutely giving 0 quarter as we go into that tight right-hander. Running wide, it's very slippery out there. Watch out, JP Norkia is going to pounce in Class L now. It looks like, oh, that was a big hit. What happened there? That looked like on Andy Fulton. Very unsure what happened with that. Oh, we can see it's Gijs. Gijs absolutely piling into the back of Andy. He must have missed his braking point or something, because that's very, very unusual to see a hit that hard. But either way, it does look like Andy has managed to keep going. Let's see if Gijs is able to as well, but it looked like that car really shot off the end of the track at the front of Class B, though. David Jeremy is being not allowed to get away. Oh, what's happened there? Must have missed a gear. That looks like he must have missed a gear, and David has slipped in one corner from first down to third. He will be back though. Oh, we can see the fender from Andy Fulton just flying off there through the last corner. Luckily seeming to be able to continue after that hit on the back of that Class L car. Nick Hodgson, though, not letting him have a moment's peace. Gonna throw a move up the inside. No, not quite. Backs out of it just a little bit, and is... See the spectators cheering these guys on. Oh my goodness, is that a spin? That is a spin from David Jeremy after a fantastic start. David is having a little bit of a nightmare, it seems, in race 3, and rejoining as the top of Class L flies through. That's allowed Andy and Nick to get on top. Ooh, is that safety car? Looks like safety car boards are out, so these drivers will have to line up once again behind the safety car, and probably we'll have a restart of the race just now. Okay, so we're back racing after a red flag incident, and we get going with a few drops of rain on the camera, and it's a safety car restart, a rolling restart I should say. And it looks like David Jeremy immediately getting past Tennis Bortos. Of course, he's got a lot of work to do to get back to the top of that Class B fight that he is so desperate to come out on top of. Nick Hodgson and Andy Fulton, though, wasting absolutely no time and getting straight back into it. You can see the Class B guys in the meantime. Also, Rudy and Mackie going at it, absolutely not giving each other a moment's peace. And speaking of, Andre Duplessis and Jean de Toy going round the last corner of the track side by side. Who's going to come out on top? Paul Vollmer ahead in the Hot Wheels car, absolutely trying to maintain this position. Jean saying, I will go up the inside here, Andre. Absolutely no problems. Who needs a slipstream? I'll just take that position from you. Thank you very much. Time to chase down Paul. David Jeremy now working his way, taking the inside line for this tight right-hander and getting a position on Fridge Friendly, it looks like, and working his way back through. It looks like he's got Joseph Kotzer ahead. Will he be able to get past quickly? We'll have to see just now. And immediately onto the back of Joseph, getting that slipstream. As I said, it's such a powerful tool in these Lotus Challenge cars. And immediately flying straight past Joseph and taking that position. As you can see, little spots of rain on the camera, but it shouldn't be affecting the grip levels. There's just no ways it should be affecting any kind of pace at the moment. Looks like Mackie Adlam is up ahead of Rudy at this stage, but those two are so close. Who knows where we'll end up at the come the end of the race, come the checkered flag, and the last checkered flag for the day. It's been phenomenal racing here at Aldo Scribante, and it is not over yet. Jean trying to put a move on two old dogs racing up the inside of Paul. Late on the brakes. That's a brave move from Jean. Slides it up the inside and looks to have taken another position. And that's it. Race 3 is done. Class B results. Mackie Adlam coming home ahead of Rudy Barnard and David Jeremy. In Class L, Nick Hodgson finishes ahead in the end of Andy Fulton. And Jean de Toy coming home for a fantastic third. Davide Favo recovering to fourth, and Paul unfortunately slipping down to fifth position.
Okay, in third place today we have John de Toy. Right, and then in second place we have Andy Fulton. And then in first place we have Hodgson. Okay, then in class B we've got David, Jeremy. In second place we've got Mackie Adlam. In first place, Rudy Barnard.
Bumping car, Rudy. Book your Johnny. Adlam affair.
Fantastic podium there, and thank you all for joining us. We will be back for the last round of the season, round 9 at Swartkoop. So join us in a couple of weeks for all the action and the conclusion to the 2024 Lotus Challenge Championship.